As I have no doubt you know, yesterday, Hersh Goldberg Poland, one of the 6 hostages who were brutally murdered by Hamas, was buried along with the other hostages. Hersh's funeral got tremendous coverage here in the United States as he was an American citizen. And I listened to his mother's eulogy, which I was overwhelmed by. I was overwhelmed by her courage, by her insight, by her clarity of mind in a moment of her life that's more dark than anyone should ever know. And I'd like to highlight certain points in her eulogy and reflect on them with you. Let's look at this numerous clips that I've selected from the eulogy. Let's begin with this one.
And one thing I keep thinking about is how out of all of the mothers in the whole entire world, God chose to give Hersh to me. What must I have done in a past life to deserve such a beautiful gift? It must have been glorious. Hersh and I once watched some...
Here she's reflecting on the gift that God has given her, and her acknowledging at such a moment that what she had, who she had as a child, was something that was given to her. And you can see how, despite the overwhelming pain that she's dealing with, she's carrying it. And she's carrying it because she has this insight and understanding and awareness that this is something that was given to her for 23 years. And she, even in this moment of enormous pain, she's able to see it that way, that it was something that was given to her. If we look a little further, she begins to make another comment, which is just astounding again. Let's watch this comment about how she reflects on her child, acknowledging that her son wasn't perfect, but commenting on the fact that her son was perfect for her. Such a deep insight.
I am honest, and I say it's not that Hersh was perfect, but he was the perfect son for me. And I am so grateful to God. And I want to do Hakarat Hatov and thank God right now in front of all of you for giving me this magnificent present of my Hersh. For 23 years, I was privileged to have the most stunning honor to be Hersh's mama.
And here you can notice how she says that for 23 years, I was privileged. She was privileged to be the mother of Hersh. She realizes that God gave her this opportunity. And she's saying all this at the moment that she lost her husband and she's in so much pain. And she realizes how God custom designed the relationship to give her this soul to care for, because this boy was perfect for her. To be aware of this and to be able to focus on the blessing of what she had, despite the enormous pain she's dealing with, is just so inspiring to me. And here she makes another point, and where if you listen to the way she's going to communicate now, she's going to actually address her son directly. She speaks to Hersh as Hersh's father also did, spoke directly to Hersh. I want you to hear just a moment of this, and then I'm going to reflect on it.
For all these months, I have been in such torment and worry.
Let me go back actually to catch her actually saying it.
Hersh, for all these months, I have been in such torment and worry about you for every single millisecond of every single day. It was such a specific type of misery that I have never experienced before. I tried hard to suppress the missing you part, because that, I was convinced, would break me. So I spent 330 days terrified, scared, worrying, and frightened. It closed my throat and made my soul throb with third-degree burns.
In addition to her ability to articulate things in such an articulate manner, with a very rare ability at such a critical moment, her talking to Hersh demonstrates and speaks right out of her faith that Hersh is here. Hersh is right here, and I speak to you, Hersh, because she recognizes that her son is much deeper than the body that she just lost. And she'll reflect this at the very end of the eulogy as well in a much more profound way, and that she can speak to her son. Her son is here in spirit, not in the physical, not in body, but in spirit. And she acknowledges as well, just a little bit later on, that you are with beautiful honor. That's what she says, acknowledging that, Hersh, you're not with me physically, but I do know that you're here in spirit with me. And I do know that your soul is now with beautiful honor, referring to God. And then she does something which is, very, very moving. And I'm going to jump to that portion of her comments. And let's listen to this.
Pain. I beg of you, Hersh, please do what you can to have your light shine down on me, Dada, Libby, and Orly. Help shower us with healing and resilience. Help us to rise again. I know it will take a long time, but please, may God bless us.
You see, here she's acknowledging that Hersh not only is a relation of continuing, but she's asking Hersh to actually shine his light down upon them, to look after them, to be a force of light and vitality for them. Because she recognizes that a soul is eternal, and that their souls are eternally bound. And Hersh, while is so painfully gone from them in the physical sense, but at the same time is always with them and can shine his light down upon them and pray for them and actually seek out their good. And then she says something finally at the very end, which is again just another powerful sentiment that she expresses. Let me jump to that final sentiment that she makes here.
Okay, sweet boy, go now on your journey. I hope it's as good as the trips you dreamed about, because finally, my sweet boy, finally, you're free. I will love you and I will miss you every single day for the rest of my life. But you're right here. I know you're right here. I just have to teach myself how to feel you in a different way.
This is, for me, the most emotional part of the eulogy. And you can hear the crowd responding when she cries out, finally, you are free. She says this from the deepest place of pain. And she calls out truth from the deepest place of pain. Because his soul is in fact free. His soul is free. She knows that as painful as it is, and she acknowledges it. And she acknowledges something very deep as well, that she needs to learn to feel him in a different way. Wow, to be in a physical body and learn that is very difficult. And she asks Hersh to help her with that. This is so deeply moving. It's so painful and so deeply moving. And it's a woman who lost her son. And it's a woman who lives deeply in faith at the very same time. This is worth every single one of us giving a lot of thought about and drawing some form of inspiration from to make this world better in the merit of what Hersh and her mother are teaching us here.